Keep that energy around for your next comedian. Please welcome Dave Teruso.
Hi guys, thank you for coming, supporting Philly comedy. I like kids, not in a bad way, you have to say that. But I hate miserable kids when they're 4 and they're like, I thought Frozen was overrated. Didn't deserve all those awards. Like, ew, pint-sized hipster. Hipsters, the seagulls of humanity. Hear me out. Loud and obnoxious, skinny legs, shit on everything. Makes perfect sense. I hate miserable kids because that's cheating. You're not allowed to start miserable. You earn it. Some little kids have earned miserable. If you're a little kid and you're getting beaten or molested, or you're dying, or your parents are dying, or they're already dead, or you're 7 and your parents are 21, you've earned miserable. Go ahead and scowl at your leisure. But the hypothetical miserable kid is miserable because he dropped his blow pop in the dirt, and I say to that hypothetical kid, suck it up, not the hypothetical blow pop which is now covered in hypothetical germs and is hypothetically dangerous, but the grimness of reality itself. Little kids need to understand that life is turds. And every one of us go through the same universal turds experiences that make us all miserable. You just gotta wait your turn. Every person in this room is gonna burn bridges with someone they care about. Every one of us will have our hearts broken. All of us will get dumped, cheated on, passed over for a promotion at work, falsely accused of rape, buried alive. Universal turds experiences. It's not just me, guys. Right? It's not just... That happens to every... I didn't touch that girl. How many people here, by a round of applause, have, or at one time had, parents? Anybody? Clap if you ever had parents. Oh, good. It's a good amount of you. You'll get this. I have parents. I got a mom and like the guy one, and they lied to me my whole childhood, as parents should, to protect me. My mom was a super smart liar, very elegant, very thought out. My dad was a lunatic because he only had one lie. He did it all through my childhood, all the way to puberty, and I believed it like a dum-dum pop. His lie was, if I misbehaved, I was gonna get sent to live on the bad boy farm. That was it. He'd pick up the phone and call the time, he'd be like, David Teruso's being a bad boy, better come take him to the bad boy farm. And I'd be in the background crying, please Dad, I'll be good. I don't want to go. Parents in the room, you know when you lie to your kid until they sob, that's child abuse. You're aware of that, right? That is child abuse. Most parents do that. I'm not bitter as an adult. As an adult, I'm just obsessed with, why was it a farm? It could have been a bad boy dungeon or a bad boy prison. There is nothing inherently scary about a farm. Although I grew up in South Philly, I'm a city boy to my core. The idea of getting up at 5 a.m. to milk a cow, I'd rather be fucking dead. I'd rather be dead. If you said, Dave, get up at 5 a.m. and milk that cow, the first words out of my mouth would be, if you said, milk that cow, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head, the first thing I would say would be, tell me more about this bullet. What caliber is it? Maybe I can take it. When I was 9, I was being really bad, and my dad told me that a recruiter was coming from the bad boy farm to have a look at me. A recruiter, a fucking recruiter! It's already a farm, now it has recruiters, and I believed all this horse shit. Prisons don't have recruiters. You don't rob a bank in Scranton on a Monday and then on Wednesday some guy in a fedora knocks on the side of your criminal hideout. Hey, Warden heard about how you knocked over that bank. He was very impressed. Here's my card. We'd love to have you at Rikers. That's not how it works. But I was 9. I didn't get it. And after dinner, it's a true story. Doorbell rings. I answer the door. It's a guy in a tie with a briefcase, which never seems like good news when you're 9. And I let him in, and my dad sends me upstairs. But I peek down from the top of the steps, and I see my mom and dad signing all these legal documents. And I went back into my room and shit my own face. I was shaking and hyperventilating, and I packed my JanSport bag with the essentials, which at 9 were, and I quote, sleeping bag, Game Boy, end of list. When the recruiter, in heavy ironic quotes, left, my dad came upstairs, he sat down, he said, David, sit down. I sat down next to him on the bed and he said, I talked it over with the recruiter and he agreed, if you're good for the rest of the summer, you won't have to live on the bad boy farm. And I cried and I thanked him and I hugged him. I fucking hugged him! My lying dickhead tormentor father. I gave him this Stockholm Syndrome embrace, not understanding that he was the person making me cry and then comforting me like a sick motherfucker. It's a weird, twisted game. When I grew up, he told me that was his life insurance agent. He was getting life insurance. It's not cool. I'm bitter about that hug, and I'm gonna get revenge just for the hug. Revenge, a dish best served cold. My dad's 61. When he hits his mid-80s and senility starts wafting into his head, I'm gonna convince him that if he ever shits his pants, I'm gonna send him to work at the Old Man Bodega. It's a corner grocery store run by the elderly, which makes just as much sense as a bad boy fucking farm. What is wrong with my dad? We may never know. Good night.
Dave Teruso, let's